Hello, mixtresses and mixters. This is Mixtressrae. You're watching Mixtress video. So I'm going to do the deck deal breakers tag from rosehoneyritual, Wildfire Meg, as I call her. And I realized I feel like my list isn't that long. I actually have a lot of deal breakers, but I think that I am forgetting some of them because my deal breakers, I'm very quick to let go of a deck if it doesn't work for me. So like I think I'm forgetting some of my deal breakers simply because they're not here anymore. Out of sight, out of mind, right? But my very number one biggest deal breaker is the same first one that Meg mentioned in her video, which is rose petal finish. And I don't even have an example to show you because I'm the one that sent Meg her example of rose petal finish. That Children of Letha, I couldn't do it. I had that deck for like 2 years and I love the artwork, but I could not work with that deck because I got to the point where I could riffle shuffle it, but you can't, like if you're looking for a particular card, which I do often, like sometimes I'll pick my card of the day from a deck and then I'll decide, you know what, I'd rather look at this version of this card from this other deck or whatever. And like anytime you need to flip through that fucking deck or any rose petal finish deck and you need to find a particular card, they just all stick together and it's just impossible. And my biggest deck deal breaker is cardstock in general. So let's talk about cardstock, shall we? Okay, I'm doing this all like, I didn't prepare anything. You guys know me. Talk about one of the best cardstocks of all time. Like this is just a yellow box Rider-Waite-Smith from I believe mine's from like the mid 80s to mid 90s. There's like no finish on these cards. And watch how they shuffle, children. Watch how this shuffles. Oh my God. It's a dream. It's a dream. What happened to having this kind of cardstock? People would call this kind of cardstock flimsy now, but guess what? It's not flimsy. I got it used. It's from possibly the mid 80s. So it's like, you know, what, 35-ish years old at this point. It's fine. How flimsy? How flimsy is a tuck box and some thin, flexible cardstock with barely little to no finish on them? How flimsy is that really? If it's still, this box is completely together. These cards are all here and they work. Like, what are we expecting our fucking cards to survive here, guys? When people talk about, oh, these cards are so sturdy, blah, blah, blah. Okay, fine. I won't make you listen to me put things back in the box. Okay, what else? What else can I show you? What else can I show you? Oh, my favorite. My favorite. Let me tell you guys, whenever I'm searching for a tarot deck to buy, or not really searching for a tarot deck to buy, but whenever I'm thinking, when I see one and I'm like, ooh, do I want that? If I look it up and I find out that it's low Scarabeo, it automatically goes from like, if I wanted it to a level of 5 out of 10, it jumps up to like a 7 or 8 out of 10 if I find out it's low Scarabeo, because low Scarabeo has a nice little tuck box. They have like a little thumb hole to open up the box. They have a nice little white book. And the cards are going to be thin and flexible and easy to shuffle. And I like the low Scarabeo like card size too. The fact that it's just like a slightly skinnier card than standard tarot size, I really like. This is the perfect size of card. This is the perfect card stock. And I like the tuck box. I am into a tuck box. So sue me. Jesus, why does everybody hate tuck boxes? So talk about, this is the opposite of a deal breaker deck. Because if I find out that something that I'm somewhat interested in is a Los Scarabeo deck, I'm gonna just be like, yep, I want it. One thing. So this is like the newer US Games cardstock. It is right on the verge of being a deal breaker. Like, the finish on the cards is like pretty nice. Like, it's a matte, but it's not sticky matte. But it's a little thick. It's a little thick. If US Games gets any thicker, I'm gonna start complaining. Like, it's not a deal breaker because it's fine. It's okay. But at this point, I'm really thinking they need to calm down. Their cardstock is getting a little thick. Let's see. What else? What other cardstocks can we talk about? Another really amazing cardstock. This is, I think this is the same cardstock as like AGM. I think that's what it's called. I don't have any other examples of it, but it's kind of like old school US Games. It's like thin, flexible, really nice, easy to shuffle. Great. This is the German version of Modern Witch. You guys, I've had my thumb brace off like almost all weekend. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. It's really fucking healing. Favorite finish on cards is probably linen. Like, just because I don't know, it has a specialness to it. This is also really fucking excellent cardstock. I think this has like a black core maybe, but it's super thin. Super thin and flexible. Like, can we just stop worrying? Can we just please stop worrying about cards being flimsy? Like, they're fine. Pretty much every type of cardstock that is thin is fine. This is a great cardstock. If any of you guys have the Desert Illuminations Tarot, she used, I don't know who she used exactly, but it was like a printer in. This is the first printing, so I don't know if it's different now. I think she has a linen finish on the cards now. This isn't exactly that. There's a little bit of a texture to it, but it's not, mine isn't a linen finish. And I trimmed it to make it borderless. But the color reproduction is fucking gorgeous. The cards are thin and flexible. This is excellent. And hey, it's a tuck box. And you know what else is a bonus for me personally? Whenever they have a cute little saying on the side, an enchanting divination experience. I mean, what happened to having a cute little saying on the side? You know what I'm saying? What's wrong with me? Oh, here's a cardstock I don't like. Almost a deal breaker, but not quite. Fucking Hay House cardstock. What the fuck? Like, the finish on the cards is fine. It's like a swishy matte. I'm okay with that. But they are pretty fucking stiff. Like, do you see how thick this is? It doesn't need to be that thick. Like, it's hard for me to shuffle. And yes, I have a healing sprained thumb, so some things are hard to shuffle. It's almost a deal breaker. Like, it's to an extent, just as an example, I'm kind of curious about Lightseers. I had it for like a second and then I got rid of it. But I'm kind of curious about it again. But do any of you guys know, like, I would think that Lightseers is popular enough that maybe like a publisher like this has maybe put this out for Lightseers. If so, I'll buy it right now. But like, my mild curiosity at Lightseers is knowing that it's going to be on this fucking thick ass cardstock. I'm saying no for now. Although I would kind of like to try that deck. Okay, I'm getting like sweaty and heated, so I'm going to stop talking about cardstock now. But I have found that that is one of my #1 deal breakers. It's actually like, sometimes it doesn't actually matter how much I love the cards, how much I love the artwork, if I can't shuffle it. There's like a thunderstorm happening in the background, guys, just in case you're like thinking, what is that? Okay, another deal breaker I have found. I tried not to put this back in the box, but I have to. I have to. I had to put this Rider-Waite-Smith back in the box because I put all the other ones back in the box, so this one can't just be sitting here not in the box. Okay, another deal breaker that I have found is pop culture decks. So this is similar to what Meg said on her channel as well. The only exception, I'm going to keep this one because this is like musicians that I actually listen to, a lot of them. And the thing that I think they did right with this deck is the artist Daniela F.A. She did like her own interpretations of the pop culture figures. Like if you know that this is Brian Eno and Oscar Wilde reflected in the sword, then you know. But if you don't know, then you can just pretend it's someone else, you know? Like this is supposed to be Debbie Harry, but it doesn't really look like Debbie Harry. So it's like, it's not too specific. So you can get into it. I'm going to find the star card just because it illustrates. See, like this is divine. And if you know that divine was the basis for Ursula on The Little Mermaid, then this card makes total fucking sense, right? See? Talk about how many fucking decks have David Bowie as the star card. Like, why? I mean, I know why that's everyone's association with David Bowie, but this one doesn't bother me as much because even though I know this is David Bowie, it doesn't look exactly like David Bowie, so I can get a little bit of distance from it, you know? So going forward, I had that 90s tarot and I got rid of it. I've had other decks that have pop culture figures in them, and it's always just taken me out of it. This deck is supposed to be a pop culture deck. I also had, what was that one called? New Wave Tarot, but it had a deal breaker card in it. It had Ian Curtis on the Hanged Man, and that to me was over the line. That really upset me, and I hadn't seen a full flip through of it, and so when I got it in my hands, plus that cardstock was awful, like, and me saying that cardstock is awful, haha. Not the thick, stiff kind of awful. It was actually a flimsy, terrible. It was like those punch out cards, you know, that have like it all came on a sheet and they were punched out probably, and it had like the little ridges where they were punched out on the edges. Like, yeah, I would have had to sand it down. Anyway. So going forward, pop culture is not going to be a genre for me because, like, for example, Tarot of Haunted House. This one could easily have gone in a pop culture place. And they're definitely using scenes from, not directly from horror movies, it's based on horror movies, you know? So it gives you more space to put yourself in the scenario instead of going, oh, that's that scene from Frankenstein, whatever. It gives you more space whenever it's not a specific thing that you're looking at, that then you can critique on whether or not they did a good job representing that specific thing, you know what I mean? The one exception to that for me, because of how much I'm obsessed with Buffy, if anyone ever makes a Buffy tarot deck, I'm gonna buy it. Most likely. Like, it would have to be, like, really, really bad for me to not buy it. Okay. The other biggest deck deal breaker for me is price. I have actually gotten rid of every single tarot deck that I've spent more than $50 on. Let me make sure that's right. I'll just bring everything out and tell you how much I spent on each and every one of these things. This I got on eBay for, including shipping, it was like $30. This one, as you can see, I got at a local witchy store for $12. This one was a gift. This one I just got on eBay. It's my most recent purchase. It's not even in the box right now, for $33. And it's out of print, so that's actually a pretty good price. This one I just got new on like Amazon, so it was probably 20 bucks, 25 at the most. I guess I'm just gonna, why am I doing this? I don't know, but I'm gonna fucking do it because why not? Fucking sweating. This one I got at that same witchy store that had the price sticker on it before, but I took the price sticker off of this one. It was $18 or $19, which was really great because this is one from 1998. This is like a first printing of Nefertari's tarot. And I'd had my eye on this one forever. Talk about, like Grace was talking in her most recent video about be patient. Be patient, seriously. Because this one new is like 40 or 50 bucks. But I just happened to come upon a used copy at a witchy store. I was patient enough and I waited and I knew I wanted this deck. And I really, really like it. And part of the reason why I like it so much is because it was like 18 or 19 bucks. Crow's Magic. Another out of print deck that I just recently got. And this one I did spend $50 on, including shipping. So this is like a higher price one. I'm just seeing like which one did I spend the most on. This one was probably 20 bucks on Amazon or eBay. I get almost all my decks on Amazon or eBay. Same with this, $20. This one I did pay a little bit more for because I got it straight from the Etsy. And it was, I did have a coupon, I think. So I think it ended up being like 35 bucks. But this is me thinking that something's expensive. 35 bucks. Dame Darcy actually, like, I've heard some shit about her. I don't think she's the best person in the world, but she doesn't doesn't seem to overcharge for her decks, at least. Give her that. This is a first edition of Wild Unknown Tarot. I thought I might be getting a knockoff when I bought it because it was only $20, including shipping. This one I got at that same witchy store, used. I love a used deck. I prefer a used deck. $11. Why am I so like heated right now? I need to open the window probably. It's like really hot where I live. Santa Muerte, spent probably 20, 25 bucks on that on Amazon. Sasaray Beto. This is an Etsy like independent deck, but it was like $45. So not too bad. Tarot of Haunted House. These are all in chronological order, by the way. Tarot of Haunted House was another I got on eBay for like $20. This was one of those like silly little situations where it came with like a little altar cloth, like a hideous, cheap ass altar cloth, but it was fine. I gave it away to somebody already, I think. Marigold Tarot. I mean, this is an independently published deck. But this one was actually a gift from the creator because I kind of reached out to her and asked her if she would give me one. But I think normally it costs about 45 bucks. I think it's totally worth it. Spirit Halloween, $7.99. Moon Power Tarot. This one's pretty outrageous, actually. It's like 60, 65 bucks or something, but my mom bought it for me as a gift. This one, German version of Modern Witch, was like 35 bucks. What I'm getting at is my deal breaker is higher price decks because all of my higher price decks I've gotten rid of because I was mad at them for costing so much money. Lost Hollow, this one, I think this is an Etsy deck. I think it was like 50 bucks. So it's a little bit more expensive one. This one I got, Gothmancy, I got as the Kickstarter. I actually got it bundled with the Oneromancy Oracle deck, and both together, including shipping, were $80, so that wasn't too bad. This one, I snagged this right before it got super big and popular, and she was doing these crazy sales before it got really popular, so I got like 30% off. So this one was a more expensive independently produced deck, but I got 30% off, so I think it was like, including shipping, it was like 50 bucks, plus it came with like a little enamel pin. Here we're getting to, I think this is the tarot deck that I spent the most money on out of everything that I've kept. I think it was, I also had a coupon or a discount code or something for this. I say coupon like an old lady, but I think this was $50, $55. maybe. So these two probably cost around the same amount, and they're probably the most expensive ones that I have. And that concludes everything that I spent any kind of money on, really. This one was a gift from Julie at Peekaboo Rose. This one was a gift from Sue Wren. This is one that this was a deal breaker for me. I wanted this deck, but it's $70. And I think that that's absolutely outrageous. But I got it as a gift, so I got incredibly lucky on that. This one was another like $20 deck. And so was this. I guess I have a couple other here, but like everything else that I have here. This one, what's in here is Gorgonz Tarot. It was $10. Didn't even come with a box. Fine with me. And then I also have 3 Llewellyn decks here. 4. Because I have Shadowscapes, Darkwood, Everyday Witch, and Tarot of Vampires. So all of those would have cost me like $20-25 max. So, oh my god, why did I do that? Why did I just do that? I hope someone found that entertaining. Because I'm sweaty. Anyway, the point, and y'all know, I don't have one and I never fucking will. That's a promise. I get really, really upset. If I have a deck that I spent a lot of money on, I get really upset and I can't keep it because all I can think about is how much money I spent on it. And, you know, and that's not a judgment of anyone else. Like, spend what you want. If you feel comfortable with it, fine. I just couldn't feel comfortable with it. Like, and whenever I happen to get a deck for a really good price, or I happen to get a deck as a gift, it is so special to me, and it's like I'm more likely to keep it in those situations. You know, it's almost like the circumstances surrounding buying the deck and the cardstock of a deck are more important to me than the actual like artwork a lot of the time, which feels weird to say, but it kind of is. It's kind of true. I mean, like, would I be as happy with this Londa Tarot if I didn't get a super great deal on it? I don't know. You know? I definitely would not have been happy with Moonvoy Tarot, and it's not anything against the tarot deck itself. I'm really enjoying working with it, actually. I was surprised by how much I enjoyed it, but I never would have bought it for myself, and even if I had, I would have been mad about how much money I spent on it, because it's like $70 plus shipping. And I feel kind of outraged, honestly. I feel a little bit outraged that tarot decks are as expensive as they are, that the cardstock is becoming as thick and stiff as it is. It's kind of like going towards that. You know, you even can't even count on Lo Scarabeo anymore, necessarily, because a lot of the time they're putting out decks and boxes like this. And this cardstock is this is a Lo Scarabeo deck. And I like this box. Like, it's not but whenever it's coming in that box, it's going to be thicker, stiffer cardstock. And this is okay. Like, it's on the verge. It's kind of like those US Games, the new US Games cardstock. It's on the verge of being too hard for me to shuffle. But it's okay. I can handle it. But and I'm with Meg on the Llewellyn. I'll get out one of those boxes. I've decided to keep 2 of my Llewellyn boxes because both Shadowscapes and Darkwood Tarot, those are the 2 gigantic Llewellyn boxes that I'm keeping because I have scented both of these decks. So for me, sort of like opening the box is kind of entering the world of this deck, and same with my Darkwood, because I just it smells so good. It smells so good. And like, so it feels like a special experience but it's only a special experience if you want this experience. So like Meg was saying in her video, like, and Llewellyn is the same, like, it's a sister publisher with Los Scarabeo. So they're actually like under the same publisher or whatever, like one of them bought the other one out or something like that. And I love Llewellyn cardstock. I love it. But I don't see, and in some cases you can, right? I forgot about that until just this very second, because I have seen Shadowscapes in a tuck box, like in person. So you actually can get just like Shadowscapes with, I assume it will have a little white book. Oh my God, is this in order? Yeah, it is. I don't use this deck that often. It's one of those like decks that's special to me, but I don't actually use it that often. Which, does that mean it's actually special? I don't know, but I'll never get rid of it. It's my fairy. It's my fairy tarot. I love it. But anyway, you actually can. I don't know if every Llewellyn is like that though. And I don't know if it's one of those things, you know, like with books where the hardback will come out and then you have to wait a year or two before the paperback comes out. Is that kind of how Llewellyn does it? Because I've seen Shadowscapes in a tuck box. But I don't know if I've seen I've never seen Tarot of Vampires in a tuck box. I've never seen Dark Wood in a tuck box. So that must not be every Llewellyn deck. But if they did that, that would be great. Because like buying the guidebook separately, like a lot of people would do that. And that would be fine. You know, a lot of people just get rid of these boxes. And I'm going to do it with all my other ones actually. Because I don't see any point in keeping my Everyday Witch or Tarot of Vampires. Those are the two other Llewellyn decks that I currently have. I just keep my Modern Witch in this cute little bag, or not Modern Witch, Everyday Witch in this cute little bag. And then I have bumping things around over here, my Tarot of Vampires just in a velvet pouch. So I totally get the gripe about packaging, because there's no need. Like, I enjoy this and I already have it, but there's really no need for this. There's no need for this gigantic box. You know, I'm embracing it because I have it. And in the sense of, if you had one tarot deck and it came in this really nice, like, keepsake box and it was this whole experience, I can see that being a special thing. But this would be the special box set version, right? You know, but if you're just getting Darkwood Tarot and it's just going to be another deck to you, it's not something that's super special to you, then why not just a little tuck box? Why not have that as an option? Because not everybody's going to want, you know, the guidebook experience, especially people that have a lot of decks. Like, half the time I don't want the guidebook experience. So anyway, so basically my deck deal breakers are just me copying off of Meg for the most part. And just adding that price is a big deal breaker for me. Cardstock is really important. It just is. Okay, now I'm babbling. And I'm so sweaty. I think I'm going to open the window. Take some deep breaths. I think I need to put on my pajamas. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Just in case you wanted to know about the rest of my day. Do you want to see? Oh my God. So this is my first attempt. Did I show you guys this already? This is my first attempt at using the laser engraver in the Makerspace to engrave onto, there we go. You can kind of see that, onto leather. I did a little crow. It looks pretty awful. I think part of it is because this leather is super old and dry. This is like my ritual knife that Michael gave me forever ago. Like, he had it when somebody gave it to him, like when he was a teenager, and he gave it to me. So it's like, it's special to me, but I usually don't keep it in the holder. But just in case you guys were thinking about engraving leather, like, there's gotta be a better way to do it. And maybe the type of leather matters, but it smells awful. It's faded now, so I can't smell it anymore, thankfully. But like when it was when I was etching it, holy crap, smelled like burning hair. It was the worst. Which of course it would. It's leather. It smells like burning fucking skin. Anyway, wow, this is a weird video. Thanks for watching.